Barry felt the weight of each child under his arm. He loved the way the wind whipped past him when he ran, but he wasn't focusing on that this time. He was more conscious than usual of how fast he was moving, but every time he looked at the kids, they grinned. The kids, he thought. His kids, according to Caitlin. He started to make a joke to himself about life coming at you fast, but thought better of it, because in one more picosecond he'd be at Star Labs. He wished he knew where Cisco was. He had to secure the kids and save Caitlin and had less than a tenth of a second to do it all. Thawne had a very particular smell. He always smelled like burnt oranges. Barry never knew what to attribute that to, but there was no mistaking it, and was all over the Star Labs west wall as Barry vibrated himself and the kids through it. He zipped down into the pipeline. He secured the kids in one of the cells furthest from the door and turned out the lights in the padded cage. Barry knelt down again. "I want you to stay here and stay quiet," he said. "Please just trust me. Don't make any noise and try to stay as still as you can, understand?" As one, Barry's son and daughter looked up at him and said, "Yes, Dad." Barry grinned in spite of the gravity of the situation. He'd been a father less than 2 hours, and he had to admit, it felt good on him. As soon as Barry left, his daughter rubbed her hands together at super speed and created a small lightning crackle to light their cell. "Did Dad forget we have powers?" she asked, her brother with an impish grin. "Probably not, but you know how Dad is. Always there, never there." He laughed, grabbed his sister's hand, and vibrated them both out of their cell onto the pipeline floor. "I wonder if Mom has Skittles?" he asked aloud. In the next split second, Barry was standing in Caitlin's lab. Eobard was standing over the main computer console with his mask off. He was again wearing Harrison Wells' face. "Stay away from my family, Thawne!" Barry screamed and charged at Eobard, trailing yellow lightning behind him. They began to spin in circles around Caitlin. It looked to Barry like she was trying to say something, but he couldn't pay attention to her. He had to stop Thawne, and that always took all of his concentration. He spun and hurled an armful of yellow lightning at Thawne's chest. Eobard Wells laughed and dodged it by running on the ceiling. While upside down, Thawne threw 4 separate red bolts of lightning directly at Barry's head. Barry ducked to his right and kept moving. As the two speedsters ran, more shattered glass started to appear all over Caitlin's lab. She saw at least 3 separate pockets materialize and shatter. The last one was dangerously close to Gypsy. Caitlin rushed back to her side. Barry and Eobard simultaneously vibrated through the floor and landed right outside the training track. They started running in opposite directions and punching each other every time their paths crossed. Barry wasn't sure, but it looked like Eobard was enjoying this. He seemed almost playful. Eobard created 3 speed mirages of himself as he ran. Barry wasn't sure if they were mirages or time remnants. He hurled himself at each one and dissipated it as he sped through. Thawne was even more powerful than he remembered. Barry made an unexpected turn and shot back over to Caitlin's lab where she was still monitoring Gypsy. "Kate, I've got to get you out of here," Barry said breathlessly. "Can you still frost up?" "Frost up?" "Barry, hold on a sec." "What is with this hold on, Caitlin? We've got to go. Now." Barry grabbed her and tensed up to speed off. Just then, Thawne came through the floor at Mach 1. He began to run around Barry and Caitlin, creating a vortex. Barry quickly dropped to the floor and began to vibrate both hands against the concrete until it ruptured. He created shock waves that quickly grew in intensity, and he aimed the last one directly at Thawne's circle. It struck every part of the floor around Thawne, and he lost his footing and went sprawling, crashing into a cardiac monitor. Barry zipped Caitlin downstairs to the pipeline to discover his kids playing on their phones in front of their cell. His daughter saw Caitlin and hollered, "Mommy!" and grabbed her by the leg. Barry looked at Caitlin and the kids and began to yell again, "We've got to go! Everyone needs to—" At that precise moment, Eobard stuck his head in through the front door of the pipeline. He smiled. "Thanks for the impromptu training session, Mr. Allen. I like that trick with the floor speedquake. Very nice." Love the dramatics too, always adds to the fun. I'll be up in the lab if you guys need me. Eobard waved at the kids and disappeared. Barry's eyes got wide. His jaw hung open and he looked at Caitlin. Caitlin, what in the world? Caitlin sighed and looked at her husband. That's what I was trying to tell you, Barry. Eobard Thawne is your best friend. What? But where are Ralph and Cisco? Caitlin held her head down. Barry, they're dead. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and ring the bell to know when new videos drop.